Gentlemen, ladies, Sandamtod here, and ladies, gentlemen, start your engines. We're finally shooting this video, believe it or not, and yeah, I've picked up a few things. We've got a couple little stories, and it's Saturday. I ended up going and seeing the end game last night. It was good. I liked Infinity War a little better. That's all I'm going to say about it. But yeah, it was a good movie. So I'm not going to give anything away. Just yeah, there are some things that you could get spoiled on if you're not careful, and I probably just moved that in front of the camera lens. Could have gotten spoiled. There were a couple things that even just at casual glancing at, the side crawl on your YouTube videos when you're watching them, you'll see other shit pop up. And, you might just glance over and it might say something in the title that will spoil you on something. And, it's just the way it is. So I don't cry foul, but I figure the quicker I can get to the theater, the quicker that I won't be spoiled on stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was going to be as hot as it was. Wow. It's one of those atomic fireball things. Jesus Christ. Whoa. I don't do hot very well. Whoo. Whoo. Screw that. Ooh. Okay. So, back to the business at hand. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I did a pickup video, and I don't even have it all here, do I? Hold on a second, I gotta grab a couple more things off the shelf. Off of the glorious shelf of shit. What do I need? This. Come on. They don't want to look at my backside forever. And, I don't know which one of these is the right one. That's good, man. Alrighty. So I don't know if you saw what I just did, but anywho, it don't matter. So, I hadn't gone shopping. I went to Vintage Stock twice now, and I told you I picked up some comic books, which I have those here, which we may or may not show. But among other things, I had picked up a couple of games and some DVD or Blu-ray. Don't know where to really start with this. Whew, the thing was hot. So. Probably would have been talking with a marble in my mouth anyway, so. So the Blu-ray I picked up was Season 2 of Preacher, which I guess this next season's going to be the finale season. I don't know. I mean, it hasn't strictly followed the comics, so that's fine. I'm just not sure how they're going to jump from where they're at now to wrapping it up at the end of, 10 or I think 10 episodes is what they did, maybe only 8, So, I don't know if you can wrap a show up in that, But, if that was the plan from the start, then we'll see. But, I have the Steelbook Blu-ray for the first season that I got at Target, which was an exclusive there. This said it was used, but it was still wrapped in the regular cellophane wrap and had a sticker on it about a digital code, and the digital code thing's still in here. And it's got, that smell when something's new when you open it up. I'm just almost positive this was new, even though they had it marked used. But it was only $16.99. I've been wanting to get it for a while, but it had it bookmarked on a couple different sites, but it was going for around 28 or 30, and when I saw it for $16.99 used, I decided to go ahead and get it. So it's pretty cool. So we picked up Preacher. That was the Blu-ray that I picked up. And then I guess this was one trip. I'm trying to put stuff together kind of an order of. Those are my internet things. That was another trip. Okay. So, yeah, I was just kind of shopping online a little bit, and had bought a couple things. I had some things bookmarked, and I've been trying to complete out certain games and this and that by either buying an instruction manual or buying a box or this or that. And, you know, there's a lot of repro boxes out there, and I've ordered a few. I don't use them in my collection that's on the shelf. I bought them kind of as just to see what they look like, but it was kind of an expensive see what they look like kind of deal. They just have a different feel to them. I have them here, the 3 that I bought that are repros, but the first one we bought was this Super Mario Brothers black box, but the type on the side is different. The logo is a lot darker on the front and the back. It's nice if you want to, have repro boxes and have a whole shelf of your games in repro boxes. I mean, that's up to you. I prefer the old adage, and you've heard me say it time and again, used but not too abused, or used but not abused, is how I like my stuff. That way I know that it's authentic. But we had also bought these Castlevania boxes, one for the original Castlevania and one for Dracula's Curse, Castlevania 3, because we had Castlevania 2 in the box, and we've got the other 2 cartridges and directions for Castlevania 1 for sure. And I don't know, I just bought them. I don't know whether I was going to use them. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, when I got them, you can tell for one thing, they're not very color consistent, because Konami boxes all had that silver kind of, not gray, it was gray, but it was almost like a silver finish to the boxes, and it was really consistent, from Top Gun to Jackal to Life Force to the Castlevania games, Double Dribble. They were all that same color, and these obviously didn't match in either direction. The Castlevania one was probably the closest. But after buying these 3 repro boxes and seeing the quality isn't bad. These are nice boxes, but they're not authentic. They're not very authentic looking at all. And I think the reason why that is so you can say they are repros if you alter it slightly. So you're not like, ripping off anybody's copyright or any kind of likeness or whatever. I don't know. But, yeah, so repros aren't my thing. So I've been trying to complete some games out with some boxes. And I ordered a box. I tried to order a box for Dash Galaxy because I have the game and the instruction book, and this dude wants like $15 for the box. Okay, I'm cool with that, but then he wants like another $10 to ship it, and I'm like, these boxes, I mean, I don't know if he doesn't know this or doesn't want to do it because he's afraid of damaging it, but you can flatten them out. You can flatten them down that they'll mail in a mailer, and then you can just pop them back out. I'm not opposed to somebody doing that to mine, but maybe, other people are. But still, $10 in shipping and packaging. This thing weighs nothing, So I'm just like, I shot him a bid. I said, I'll give you 18 for the deal. With the shipping, that's what I'll pay is 18. And the dude didn't answer me back, and he's had it posted for like a month now, and nobody's even watching it except me, because it says, there's no other watchers and stuff, and the guy, just has it marked for $15, and maybe he's willing to sit on it, I don't know. But there was another box that I had marked, and you may have just saw the predecessor to this box that I had bookmarked for a while, and the guy finally marked it down. And it was a similar deal where it was a game that I really wanted to get a new box because I actually had one, but it was pretty tore up. And so I had it bookmarked, and eventually nobody bought it. And the guy finally marked it down to, I think, $10.49 or something, and I don't remember if there was shipping on it to begin with, but he was going to ship it for free, and it was like under $11, and I had it bookmarked for a while, and he wanted like 16, or I think it was going to be around 20 because he wanted shipping and stuff. So I ended up getting this for about $11, which is nice, and I replaced it out. I already swapped it out and put it on my shelf, but and you're like, well, how do you know it's not a repro? And I'm like, well, I don't 100% know, but because it's in really nice shape, but at the same time, I don't think it is because of the color of the logo, the writing. I compared it to my original box, and everything size-wise and everything looks the same, exactly the same. So I tend to lean toward thinking it's real. Plus, it does have a little bit of a dent on the side, but other than that, it's a pretty flawless box. And that is for the game Cobra Triangle. Now, this is my original box, and this is why I wanted to get a new one. It's been ripped on both sides of it, here and here, and folded down. It's got creases across the front, and the flap is well worn and creased across there. It only has one of the fold-in tabs, and the other one is broken off, and then it's been smashed, and the color, it's faded, and I was just like, I think I got this at vintage stock, and I think I got the game. I think I had the game, and I had a game, and it came with everything, you know, and it was like $8. So I don't know, because I thought I had 2 Cobra Triangles, unless I traded it. I thought I had another loose one, but I couldn't find it the other day when I was looking through my stuff. So, because I was going to put the other copy in this box, even though it was kind of tore up, because it's not a complete loss, but this is like a, I don't know, like a average, like a 5.0. I would say it's actually probably considered a poor condition if you were to list it on like eBay or something. But this is the one that I bought for $11 right here, and you can see the color and the quality is a lot better. And actually, I'm dropping it. Yeah, let's dent it up. It does have a little bit of a dent here, which he had a picture of. It does have both the fold-in flaps, and it actually, when he mailed it, came with one of these Nintendo Now You're Playing with Power posters, which is cool. I mean, I like these. The poster that I really want, because I've got a lot of posters, but the one that I really want is the Nintendo one that said Now You're Playing with Power, I think at the top. And it had Rob the Robot's head at the bottom, and it had all of the machines around it. I don't know if it said Playing with Power or it said something else at the top, but it was a bigger one. It wasn't just one of these little ones. It was like, not a full poster size, but it was like 20 by 24 or 26. And that's the one that I really want. You see it on certain people, like on Angry Video Game Nerd. I think he's got it on the wall, or has had it on the wall in the past. That's the one I really want, and I ordered one off of eBay, and this is, you know, I didn't ask because I was worried that it would get bought, but I paid about $9 for it, and it is the poster. I mean, it is the one that I wanted because he had taken a picture of it, but it's the one that's this size, and I want the one that's bigger. So I mean, when I got it, I was like, well, I took a gamble and thought maybe it was a big one, maybe it wasn't, and it wasn't. So, you know, it's cool. I'm glad to have the other one, the little one, but I didn't really want to pay whatever I paid, like $10 or whatever I paid for it, for the little poster. So, but this came with it, and then I put my game and the instructions in there in the box. So this is what I bought. One of the things I bought was this box, which is in really nice shape. And like I said, the guy sat on it for a long time, but nobody bought it. And then as soon as he marked it down, I just happened to be looking and saw it was marked down and was like, yeah. So yeah, that was definitely an upgrade for $10 without buying a whole new game there. And so the other games that I bought off the internet, I bought 2 other games just because I was flipping through some. This one I bought just because of the crazy cover art. I mean, it's a decent game, but I bought it mainly because I had forgotten about some of the pictures on the front of this. But it's a wrestling game, and I've got a complete copy. It's not in. It's probably in like a 7 out of. On my scale, you know, I told you I have my own scale here. It's not a official rating scale of any kind, but I bought this LJN game, which, you know, LJN, you know, sucks, but so the, you know, myth goes, which, you know, everybody's got their own opinion. But I picked up WWF WrestleMania Challenge. And I don't remember exactly what I paid, but look at the faces these guys are making on here. Especially the Andre the Giant face is just classic. And this has, like, I don't remember if it has, like, double the roster that the WWF WrestleMania does, which I'm missing box only on that. But there's a little bit of sticker residue where you can see where there's some round stickers on, like, right here. And then there were a couple on here, and I think that's why right here and a little bit on Hulk's head, it's peeled. A little bit of the front of the box office because there were stickers on there that somebody peeled off. And you can still see a little bit of sticker residue on it, but you got Ultimate Warrior, Big Boss Man, Andre the Giant, Super Macho Man, or not Super Macho Man, Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan. I believe it's got who else does it have on here? I think Hacksaw Jim Duggan and, like, nah, Honky Tonk Man was on the other one. I'm trying to remember. Well, let's get the directions out. Are we in a hurry here? I don't know if you are. Let's see. Yeah, so it is completed. It has a sleeve in there. And these are the directions, which the directions are nice. And the cart's actually in fairly good shape. Right here on the edge, it's got a little bit of wear, like where it peeled up just very slightly, but it's not too bad. And the back sticker's pretty good. But it's still got a lot of the pretty good shine on the sticker, so that's nice. And let's see who was in this, aside from the 5 guys on the front. Hey, you can get WWF Magazine. Call to subscribe today. Hey, it's a color manual, though. The challenge is waiting. Oh, here we go. WWF wrestlers. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. All right. I like that. Ravishing Rick Rude. Awesome. Big Boss Man. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. There's a guy I love. Andre the Giant, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and then there's a generic U character. That's pretty awesome roster, actually, of guys. Oh, there's some color pictures of them. Hey, cool. Here we go. I can't read it and look at it at the same time, but, you know, we got Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and Ravishing Rick Rude. They're right there. According to this, Hulk is 6'8", Ultimate Warrior is 6'2", 275. Hulk was 303, his weight. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, 6'4", 271. Ravishing Rick Rude, 6'3", 251. Macho King Randy Savage. He is 6'2", 245. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, 6'4", 280. Got his tongue out. Big Boss Man, 6'6", 356. And Andre the Giant, 7'4", 520 pounds, baby. Yeah, French Alps. I watched that HBO. Well, we talked about that before, but watched that HBO documentary, which was really pretty informative and pretty interesting. So, yeah. So, I picked this up. I think it was around $15 with shipping and everything. I don't think I paid too much for it. And the only other wrestling game that I had complete in the box was Pro Wrestling. So, and like I said, I was looking for WrestleMania, the box for the first one, and then this came up in part of that listing, and I just saw it and was like, oh, I'll go ahead and get that. I gotta have that. So I think I've got around, including doubles, 150 box games. About 10 of them are missing directions, and like I said, about 10 of them are doubles. So really my unique boxed game collection is probably around 140. But like I said, I didn't have that one. And then here to talk about another Konami game, I was just looking through some cheaper, I was just looking at, NES Complete or NES CIB boxed games on eBay and started at cheapest and just started flipping through, seeing what I saw. And a copy of this came up, and, I was like, I think it was like $12, and the guy was like free shipping, and it was complete. So I picked up a copy of a Konami game, Track and Field 2. So, yeah, Track and Field 2. I think I had a loose cart of Track and Field 2. But Track and Field 1 is a little more sought after. But you can see that silver shine on that box and the color that they're trying to duplicate with this. It's just not the same. And this ain't even fucking close. But, like I said, maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's got to be colored slightly differently because it is a repro, and that kind of thing. It's not a counterfeit, it's a repro. So, here's the game, and the game's nice, and the directions. It's got both the fold-ins, and I put it in a sleeve. I'm going to have to order some of these. I'm actually, since I said I'm up to 150, a couple of my games came with these, but I'm pretty much out of these clear sleeves now. But I had put off buying them because I wasn't sure. And I did it like I've tried to go through my list and look on the shelf and figure out what everything. Oh, I'm missing a game. I don't know what it is, but I have like a list of a certain number of games. There's 2 that are meant in the box, and then there's like 11 that are missing directions. So there should be a certain number left. I think it's 141. And I think I can only account for 140 of them. And I don't know what the other one is. And I keep looking at the shelf, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what one, quote unquote, I'm missing. I don't know how long we've been talking either here. I think we're still rolling, hopefully. Yeah, but we're getting close. We're jabbering and what have you. But I'll probably restart the camera here, and then we'll talk about my 2 separate little trips to vintage stock. Oh, I've got one more thing. We'll go ahead and show this real quick. So, like I said, I was ordering loose things, trying to complete stuff out. I was looking for instructions and stuff. And one thing I've always been missing is I have Final Fantasy in the box with the instructions, but it doesn't have the 2 maps. And so, I also have another boxed copy that doesn't have the directions. I can tell this one does because it feels thicker than this one does. But I saw a guy who was selling one of the maps for $7. And the cheapest I've seen any of them was both of them together. It was like $23 or something. So I was like, I'll buy the one for $7. So I got it in the mail. So it's the one that has the enemy chart on the back, which is nice. And it's got the map on the front. There's no writing on it, but it is been well folded in and out of the box. So what happened was I was looking for the other one, and some guy posted one for $13 for the other one. And I was like, well, I guess I basically just spent $20, but I might as well go ahead and buy it. Well, he mailed it out to me, and it's been in transit for like over a week, and it still says it's going to arrive late, and that's all it says. And so I wrote him back on eBay and told him that it was supposed to be here 3 days ago, and that it still says it's in transit, whatever. He gave me a refund for it for the $13 or whatever, but I don't have that map now, and the cheapest one of just that one map now on eBay was $23 by itself, and I was like, forget that. So I guess we're in a holding pattern again. I thought I was going to complete that copy finally. So yeah, well, let's sign off really quickly, and we'll come back. What the hell's that thing? Oh, I don't know where this came from. One of these McDonald's Big Mac cars. Woo! I think there was like a Ronald McDonald Roadster and was it Grimace? No, there was a Ronald McDonald and the early bird, breakfast bird or whatever. And I could have swore there was a fourth one though. There was. Hamburglar. It's got to be Hamburglar. So, yeah, so we're back. We're talking about stupid little tchotchke toys. I only have that one. I don't have the other three. Although when I was a kid, I probably had like 10 of each of them. So, yeah, we went out to Vintage Stock and Liberty because I was going to see my sister last weekend or 2 weekends ago. 2 weekends ago. And so I swung by there, and it was the, I was going over to her house on Sunday. That was the weekend I had a stomach issue. It might have been last weekend. I don't know. It was, either way, these stories are the way they are. I don't remember what order I went. Oh, this was the first trip, though. I do remember that. So anyway, I was over there, and I think I was going to go the next week because they were having the sale, though. Okay, it doesn't matter. Screw it. Just stop. Okay, so we went in there. We were looking around. Like I said, we bought some comic books, which I guess you can show a few of them just for the hell of it. I don't know. I bought this just for the hell of it because it's shiny. Silver Sable and the Wild Pack #1. It was a whole $1. Yeah. It's got a Spider-Man. Here's that Gen 13 book I was talking about. And, oh yeah, I forgot about this one. I have the first one of these, issue 1, and I saw this, so I decided to pick up the second issue. But I'm curious, because I think this might be the direction they're going to go a little bit with the Marvel stuff, and I don't know. I don't have any inside shit, but I do know they at the end of Guardians 2, they hinted at Adam Warlock. And Adam Warlock was essentially one of the main players in the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, kind of deal. And the fact that they didn't bring, I got a feeling that they might be headed in the direction with Warlock. So I picked up Warlock in the Infinity Watch #2, and like I said, I have the first one. And this is, if you've been following the Marvel thing, then you probably have either done some research on some stuff on your own online or whatever. I don't want to use masking tape on this. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Evidently, it hadn't been open forever, but it was masking tape shut. Super Nintendo, Super Off-Road game, folks. Yes. Yes, yes. As Brant would say in Big Lebowski. Oh, here's an issue of the New Warriors I did find. I told you they were one of my more favorite groups. And I did not have this issue. I got it up through about issue 50, and then it just got to where I wasn't in a place where I was able to pick it up on a monthly basis. And I just kind of fell out of it after a while. But I'd like to go back and get the whole first, run, the first volume or whatever they call it. But this is one of the first run comics, and it was $1. It's issue 60 of the New Warriors, called Nova Omega is what's written on it. But it's got a Kid Nova in the middle, along with, that looks like Havoc almost, but Speedball's down here at the bottom. And I told you about, I had bought some solo issues of his 80s run. Then Firestar's just up here in the little corner card thing. Yep. So I'll breeze through some of these. Here's the Wildcats, Jim Lee. Like I said, I had the first couple of issues. This cover was drawn by Jim Lee, so I went in and got the third and the fourth issue here, which also has, it says Jim Lee on it. But then when I get to issue, I picked up a couple of other issues a little later in the run, and I didn't see his name on the front cover anymore. Like this one, I don't see where they signed it at all, but it's issue 14. And then this is issue 15, and it says Robinson, Charest, and Hubbs at the bottom, and not Lee. So 14, 15. I still like the style of the art, but it's just I don't know when or if he quit drawing on it. And this has some other names. Issue 24. It says Moore and Benjamin, and the price stickers over the other part. So yeah, those were my few little Wildcat books I picked up, like I said, because I'd had a couple. Pit is another one. I do have the first four issues, and then 7, and then 11 or something. And so I ran across issue 9, so I went in and picked up issue 9 of Pit. And then when I was flipping through it, actually these books are kind of divvied up between the two visits. But the second time I went out there, I found a first issue, which was still only $1. But I remember when I bought this off the rack as a kid and got the #1 issue, and being like, oh yeah, this book's going to be a big hit, it's going to be the next big thing and all that. And I love the art and the story. Other than that, I mean, what more can you ask of it? It's $1 cheaper than it was when you sold it to begin with. And this is that book, Sludge, I was talking about. I found issue 6 and 7. I do have issue 1 through 5. Evidently, this only went 12 issues total. And so I got a good shot at picking up the other 5 at a couple different vintage stocks if I look. So I'm probably going to go ahead and try to find the other 5 issues. Oh, and I love this one because it was like I said, it's an 80s. It's got to be 80s cover, 75 cents. And it's a Nightcrawler book. It just says 2 in issue limited series, 2 in a 4 issue limited series Nightcrawler, and it's got Nightcrawler jumping the shark. It's got Nightcrawler on the cover, swinging with a lady that looks like she's dressed in a Amazon outfit with some little flying dragon lizard with her, and then they're swinging over a giant shark. You gotta like that. I would hang that on a full-size poster on the wall. That would be awesome. Nightcrawler is one of my favorite X-Men, And not only that, favorite Marvel characters, but X-Men especially. So this was pretty sweet to find this, and it's just $1, But just even finding it, I was like, I probably would have paid $3 or $4 for this if I would have, happened to look through there. But the other reason I was looking through there was because they were dollar comics. And then the next week I went out there, they're like, no, that was the deal. The next week I went out there, they did had a sale, which was the week my stomach was messed up. But I didn't know they were until I came out there on Sunday, and the sale was on Saturday. And she's like, oh, you should have been in here on Saturday. And I was like, yeah, I wish I would have been in here on Saturday, but I wasn't. Okay, so I picked up 4 issues of Speedball, and like I said, I had issue number 1 because when I was reading New Warriors, I went ahead and bought like each person, if they were an established character, bought their number 1 of their run books. I bought Firestar and Speedball, and that was before Night Thrasher had his own book. And Nova had his own book, I think, but I did buy Nova when they did a run with him. But these are the Speedball ones, and the covers are pretty awesome. His character design changed pretty crazily. His hair definitely got wilder over the run, but his name's I believe is Robbie Baldwin was his character is his name. And I don't remember how he got. I think it was one of those accident things, but he got these speed forces, or this kinetic speed like shield around him to where he bounces off everything. Like I said, I really don't remember, but here he's versing Leaper Logan. Issue 5. Will he be able to beat the Basher and the Freaks of Science? And there's a cat jumping through. I think that is his cat, and it got covered with the crap too, and it bounces everywhere. I noticed there's some Nintendo games on the back of that one. We've got some Taito titles, Renegade, Sky Shark, Operation Wolf, and Bubble Bobble. Oh. The Two-Legged Rat. Alright, I didn't even notice him. That's a 3-fer there. Freaks of Science, the Basher, and the Two-Legged Rat. Oh, what's on the back of this one? Oh, check out this. Welcome to the 25th century. It's a board game, some kind of Risk-style board game. Buck Rogers, Battle for the 25th Century. Forget that. Look at all those pieces and everything. Jesus Christ, it'll probably take hours and hours to play that. Speedball the Mask Marvel battles the Bonehead Gang. All right. They're still pushing the Buck Rogers in this episode as well. Or issue. This is 5 months later. They're still pushing that Buck Rogers game. And then issue 10, he's fighting giant snakes, mutated pigs, and a killer chicken. Yep. I don't know what's on the back of this one. That's the last comic book that I have, but these are 75 cents. These are probably like mid to late 80s. Books. Oh, you can double zap your zits. Awesome. Zap those zits, folks. Zap them. I haven't looked through these yet, so we'll just set this to the side. But they're in good shape. Like I said, I mainly just bought them because I like the art, or because I'm not a kleptomaniac. What's that? What's the word where you constantly have to buy things? A hoarder. I prefer eclectic collector. How's that? How long did that take? Well, we might be able to get through this. Okay, so the first trip I went there, went in, looked around. Like I said, I really didn't film in the store. And I noticed that they still had some of those Nintendo games in their case that were in really awesome shape. I know one guy had to have sold all of them in. And I just keep cherry picking them. There's a couple left. The Batman Returns is like $40, and I don't want to pay that for that. And the ones that are like 20 or 25 or 20 and less are the titles are so, but I keep buying them because they're I don't have the title yet, and they're really in great condition. So one of these is kind of meh, and the other one's okay. But I noticed the Nintendo game. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get that one because of the price and the quality. And then I went over and I was looking at their Sega stuff. And they really don't usually have a lot, but they actually had gotten in some Sega Master System games in the case. And they had a few there. Diet Mr. Pibb. But I noticed one of them was one of the card games, and they only released like seven of these, I think, in the United States, these card titles, and I have 3 of them, and I actually have a double of one of them. So when I saw one in there and then it was in the box, I was like, I bet they want like $35 for it or something, because online they are usually, people want like $30 or so for them anyway. But I was like, I'll just see what they want for it. So I went over and I got somebody and brought them over the case. And I think there's one I want in here. I want to know the price of something that's in here. And we went and looked in there. And I'm curious because I think it's probably going to be like $35. And she pulled it out and she goes, no, it's only $20. And she handed it to me, and I looked at it, and I opened it up and kind of looked at it. And the only thing is, it doesn't have the little cover for the HU card, which only one of these does have the cover. And I don't know, to find them online, it's like I can't just find the little covers. I don't know if there's something that I could put them in as an alternative, but I'd like to just order a few of those little sleeves. But I picked up a title that I didn't have, so now I have 4 of them, and it was $20. But I picked up the Sega card game My Hero, which I think they released this also as a cartridge. I don't know if they did in the United States, but I think this was also released as a cartridge title. Maybe not in the United States, like I said, but it was $20. Excuse me. The card is in pretty good shape, actually. It looks pretty nice. Like I said, I wish it had one of the little covers on it. No name was written on the back of it. And the directions are here, and they're in good shape. They're little, used, and not folded in any way, not ever crumpled in any way, just used. And they're in that normal sepia tone blue color. And, so it was $20. And I was happy to get it, because like I said, I've been seeing this one for like $30 plus online. And here are the other ones that I have. Now, I actually have 2 of this title. And I don't know why. I guess because I just saw it again, and it was a decent price. And I was like, you just don't see these card games anywhere. So I picked up F-16 Fighting Falcon a while back. And like I said, I have 2 of these, and they're both complete. I'm trying to think of the 3 that I'm missing now. I know what 2 of them are. Well, no, I know what the other ones are. This is the very first one I ever found, and it was at the Vintage Stock and Independence. And so I immediately bought it when I saw it. I think it was like, I don't even know. We don't even know. But this one actually has a little cover on the game, and that is the game Super Tennis. And I don't know what it is about just these little things, but you can't order them. I think there was one thing on eBay where you could order them, but you had to order them from like Germany or something. And I was like, really? I mean, I don't mind ordering from overseas, but I was just like, the amount of time it would take and everything for 3 of those little things. Excuse me. And then the final one, which I believe I also got at the Vintage Stock in Independence. I know it was at a Vintage Stock, though. Is the Sega card game Spy vs. Spy. And this one's complete. It does have a cover on the game as well. And I think there's a Sega poster in this as well. So that's pretty cool. So now we have 4 of these. We're missing a game called Transbot, one called Ghost House, and one called Teddy Boy. And I remembered, I was having trouble remembering, and then I remembered the Teddy Boy because I'll follow that up here in just a second. But I told the chick to go over to the other case, to the Nintendo case, and I had her pull this out, and I looked at it, and it was 15, so I decided to go ahead and get it. And that was the Capcom game that was probably in there when I bought the other games. And what I would assume they all kind of look like they came from the same place. But the Capcom game, Adventures in the Magic Kingdom for Disney, Capcom game. And look at the quality on this. I mean, it's just really awesome. The very edge of this is kind of a little bit ripped, just barely. But other than that, I mean, the boxes were kept really nice, and then really, they weren't like in somebody's basement or something getting all moisture, you know, inundated and all that. And it's one of those cases where it is complete. And like I said, the reason why I think these all came from the same guy is because they all still have the bag and everything and the game. And the $5 coupon to Disneyland is not in here anymore. So, but other than that, it was complete, and it is in nice shape, like I said. We might as well look at it since we got it out of the bag. Well, maybe it is here. I don't know. We got Disney Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. We've got some kind of seizure warning thing. We've got a mail-in certificate. There it is. Mail-in certificate to Mickey Mouse for $5. Oh, it's a refund. $5 a refund on this game if you mailed it in. Now, that would have been cool. I would have done. I don't know if I would have done that or not. So many people don't do shit like that, but $5 is $5, man. Especially if you're a kid. Nintendo Power subscription, and then a poster for some Capcom stuff. I don't know if I have this poster. I might put it with my other posters. Alright, it's got the Radical Kid. The Capcom Kid. He is radical. I think I'm going to keep this out and put it with my other posters. And then, like I said, I'm not going to waste your time putting that back in at the moment. We got 2 things left, folks. What do you think? This is a long-ass video. I'm going to have to restart the camera again. But I don't think you all mind too much. So let's finish this sucker up. I've only got 2 games left, so it's not going to be a big, long, drawn-out final little segment. So let's... Alright, so that was 2 weeks ago. I think I just went out there. My sister was working that weekend, and I was just kind of itching to go somewhere, and I hadn't been out to the Vintage Stock, and I knew they had some laser discs out there, and I was like, I'll just go out there and look around. And I found those 2 games and some comic books, and I was like, cool. You know, and then the following weekend, like I said, my sister was going to be home, which was last weekend, and I was going to go over there on Saturday. No, she had to work on Saturday. I was going to go over there on Sunday, but Saturday I was laid up all day with this stomach thing, gastro, whatever trips it off. I was laid up all day. And so Sunday I decided when I was out there that I wanted to, go a couple places. And I figured, I didn't get to go anywhere yesterday. I'll go over to the vintage stock. I know I was just there a week ago, but, we'll go there again. And the thing is, the two games that I bought, they were there the week before. I just didn't notice them because I was eagle-eyed in on the other stuff. So went back in, looked around real quick. Like I said, I mainly went over the comic books to kind of look through those again more than anything. Because I think I was waiting for my sister or something to either get home from work or something. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. But I was killing some time before I went over there. And so I looked in the Sega thing again, and I looked in the Nintendo deal, and I was like, well, I noticed over at the Sega case there was another card game, but it was just the card, and it was face down to where you could only see the back of it. I was going to pull one of these. Of course, those both have covers on them. There we go. It was just the back of it, and you can't tell by looking at the back of it what game it is. And so I was like, asked them to come over there basically to look and see what game it was. Now, I knew it was just loose. I also wanted to know, because this price sticker was on the other side, how much they wanted for it. Because I'm like, I do have another case that's made for the cards. Now, if I bought it and it was cheap, I could probably either order some case art, just the case art, or make some case art for it in my collection, and then have it in the case. But I think they wanted like another $20 for it, and it was just the card. It was a game I didn't have, though, and it was the Teddy Boy, and that's why I was like, Teddy Boy? I don't even know what the hell that is. But I do know those are the three I'm missing. Ghost House, Transbot, which I almost could have bought Transbot at the thrift store one time, but it was card only. So I was like, I don't know about that, but I kind of flipped through the other Sega games. They had a few there, and they had one of the Alex Kidd, and they had a couple other ones. But then I saw this, and I'm like, I don't know if I have this or not. And it was only $4. It is missing the instructions. But I went ahead and picked it up, just not even knowing if I already owned it or not, because it was $4. And that is the awesome title, Great Basketball. Turns out, folks, I did not have this one. I had great football and great baseball, but not great basketball. So we added two unique titles to our Sega Master System collection, which they only released I know they released over 100, but I don't think they released over 125 games. But somewhere in that 100, we'll even go as far as say 150, which I don't think it even came close to that. Titles were released for the Master System. And we've got about 40 to 50. I don't remember the count. I know we did a Master System video, and I like I said, I haven't really added to it. I think I bought Altered Beast, and now I bought Great Basketball and My Hero. So, I mean, I don't really know what that brought our total up to there. That's the problem is I'll do these updates to my inventory, and then I forget to update it for a long time, and then it's so out of date, it's all messed up. So I need to go probably check it. And then I went over to the Nintendo stuff, and I was just looking. They had a couple of chess games. They've got Battle Chess. I think they want 20 for it, though. I'm leaning toward, like I said, I'm just cherry picking their games. 20 was a little bit much. It's not something that I would order online for 20, but the quality is in really great shape. But it's a chess game, and I'm like, eh. This one was 15, and it's something I probably won't, play, but it's kind of the same thing, which I have a Sega game that I traded 8-Bit Goomba for a long time ago called King Salmon. I just love the case art and the whole thing, so that's the reason why, I traded him for it. And it's still one of my favorite kind of Sega case art games that I have over there. But I went ahead and picked up this stellar Nintendo classic, the Black Bass. Oh, yes. And, yes, this box is in really nice shape, and I do not think anybody's reproing Black Bass boxes. I can't imagine. So I lean toward thinking this one is in great shape because it's just been kept in a really good environment. I don't remember ever playing any of these fishing games. I have a couple on the Dreamcast that I think I played because I had that fishing pole thing. But like I said, these are probably from the same guy because they have the game with is in the bag, and it's got the directions. And the box is just in really great shape. I keep saying, like I said, I think I'm catching myself saying some of the same things over and over, but there's, I believe a copy of Super Mario 3 in their case again. It was in nice shape, but I don't think it came in with these other games. And then there was, like I said, Battle Chess. There's another chess game, a Chess Master, I think. And then there's that Batman Returns. Those three for sure. And then there was another Super Mario. And I believe that was about it, because I pretty much bought some of the other stuff. And there was a Super Nintendo game there, but I didn't care what it was, whatever it was. I did notice they had a couple of Super Nintendo games. They had a Super Metroid cart only for $80 in their case. And a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time for like, I think it was like $70. And like I said, we just bought those direction books to complete those copies, so they're worth, who knows, they're worth whatever anybody would pay for them. I don't really know. What's a bird in the hand worth, unless you're willing to trade it for, I don't know, trade it for something. So, I'm going to sign off. That was a collection video, a pickups video to add to the collection of stuff. And I don't know, I don't have anything. I have a couple of those Fleer X-Men cards on order. Like I said, I was trying to complete out one of the sets. Other than that, I don't have any video game stuff on order or anything. I'm in the home stretch of playing through XCOM Enemy Within again. I have to get some people psionically ready to go to the final fight, and then we'll be pretty much ready to roll. After I do that, I really need to play XCOM 2. I mean, honestly, I don't know, but other than that, I've been playing some of that the Senran Kagura. And just because it's real quick and you can play like 5 or 6 little, mission things in like 20 minutes and be done and just be like, that was fun, So, yeah, so that's about it. And I'm trying to think. I'm really kind of leaning toward doing a. I know this is kind of out of the blue, but a Nintendo 64 collection video. I've never done one, and I'm not a real big proponent of it, but I thought I could show you what I have. I do have a box system and some box games, and I do have a few loose games and quite a few controllers and a couple of loose systems. So I thought maybe I could put together a Nintendo 64 collection video, which I've never done one, and we could check it out. Other than that, I don't really know what else I have in mind. But like I said, the Nintendo 64 video I thought would be kind of fun. Even though, like I said, I guess I don't think too highly of the controller mainly, which hampered my enjoyment of the system. So, anywho, yeah. So I will, if I do the video, I will just talk about the system and stuff. I won't sit and hate on it the whole video. It's not the system itself, like I said, that I hate on. And actually, it's one of the first one or two systems that, like I said, I bought that Dreamcast. And then I think I, shortly after that, found a Nintendo 64 at the thrift store for $5. It didn't have the controller or the hookup to the TV, I think. It was just the cord and the system, but I bought it for $5. And I think it had the memory in it, and then that kind of spurred me on to buy the other pieces to at least be able to turn the sucker on and see if it worked and play it a little bit. And I bought some loose cart games at like the pawn shop and stuff, and then it went from there. So yeah, so we'll talk about it. I know it might be some people's first system or favorite system or whatever, and that's awesome. I mean, if you dig it. Same thing with the GameCube. The controller for me was a little bit of a yeah. And I don't know. After the Super Nintendo, I just really fell away from Nintendo. And I just never really looked back to it since the Super Nintendo. So, but I have nothing against it. Like I said, I have a Wii. I don't have a Wii U, and I don't have a Switch, and I don't plan on getting one. You can tell me why I should if you want, but I probably won't get one anyway. Because I don't care about franchise characters for the most part, other than Samus and Link to a degree. And, other than that, So, yep, go see Endgame if you don't want to get spoiled on it, because I'm sure a lot of spoilers are getting posted. And if you're trying to avoid them, like I said, I'm not giving anything away, but it's pretty good. I know Godzilla is getting ready to come out next month, or at the end of this month, and then John Wick's coming up, and yeah. So, all right, I dragged this out long enough. We'll talk to you later, folks. I hope you got your money's worth, your free money. I wish I would have had some free money. That would be awesome. Free money. Oh, free money. So, anyway, folks, I hope you enjoy this, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?